What if I told you that the exact moment your head touches the pillow tonight, you won't just be preparing to sleep, but crossing the threshold of the richest and most powerful vault in the universe, your own subconscious mind? What if I told you that the last phrases you whisper to that immense silent force, that infinite intelligence that weaves the tapestry of your life, will determine whether tomorrow's mail brings bills or blessings, worries or opportunities, scarcity or an avalanche of abundance? Imagine, for a moment, that your nightly thoughts are like seeds cast into soil of unimaginable fertility, soil that knows no weeds, only the imperative to grow whatever is given to it, without questioning, without judging. Every night you lie down upon an altar more secure than any Swiss bank, soil more fertile than any Nile field, and yet the overwhelming majority of souls waste this sacred opportunity, transforming this ritual of creation into an exercise of self-sabotage. They sink into sleep replaying the same movie of worries in an infinite torturous loop, the overdraft notice blinking blood red, the rent rising relentlessly like an inevitable tide, the side business that continues bleeding money instead of generating it, the fear of illness, the dread of loss. Each worry is a negative prayer, a detailed instruction sent to the universe to materialize more of what is feared, and, unsurprisingly upon waking they harvest exactly the bitter seeds they planted the night before, finding a world that is a perfect mirror of their internal anguish. They wonder why life is a struggle, why bad luck seems to pursue them, not realizing they are the nightly architects of their own prison, building walls with bricks of their fears and mortar of their doubts. But there is a secret, a truth whispered through the ages by those who understood the deepest rules of the game of life, from ancient mystics to modern magnates who master the art of manifestation. Life is not a battle to be fought, but a game to be played with knowledge and intention. The great metaphysical teacher of the early 20th century, Florence Scovel Shinn, a woman who decoded the universe's instruction manual with bewildering simplicity, revealed this forgotten truth with stunning clarity. The subconscious never sleeps. It is always, always, molding your future according to the last thought you release into it. Based on this, I declare to you now, sleep is not just rest, it is an act of deliberate creation. The darkness that envelops you is not empty, but rather the sacred womb of abundance, the quantum field of all possibilities, awaiting your instructions. It is the most potent moment of your day, when the veil between worlds becomes thin, and if you dare to speak the right words with corresponding faith, morning will find you with proofs so tangible and shocking they would seem impossible just hours before. Allow me to envelop you in Maya's story, an exhausted Etsy seller, drowning in $23,000 of credit card debt, and wearing fatigue like a second skin, a gray shroud over her soul, so you can feel how this law operates in a body, mind and life, much like yours. Her story is not a distant fairy tale, but a visceral testimony that wealth is not something you chase, but something you allow. Her journey from the brink of bankruptcy to financial freedom is not about luck or chance, it's a map, a living testament that radical transformation doesn't require an external miracle, but a simple and profound internal shift, a realignment with the power that already resides within you, pulsing silently beneath the surface of your daily worries. Before we dive into the secrets that changed Maya's life forever, and before I hand you the key that opens this inner vault, I want you to pause, breathe deeply, not just with your lungs, but with your entire being. Feel the air filling you. If you feel there's more to your life than daily struggle, if a deep and wise part of you, that voice you often ignore, believes prosperity is your birthright, then this video is your sign from the universe. It's not an algorithm that brought you here, it's a calling. Stay with me until the end, for I won't just share a theory, but deliver a practical protocol, a step-by-step nightly ritual you can begin using tonight to rewrite tomorrow's script. And if you're ready to stop being a victim of circumstances, and start being the commander of your reality, type in the comments below with intention and power, I am ready to create. What Florence Scovel Shinn called impressing the subconscious mind wasn't just a beautiful poetic metaphor, it was a precise description of a profound and powerful neurological phenomenon. Modern science, with its electroencephalograms, EEGs and functional magnetic resonance imaging fMRI, is only beginning to catch up to this ancient wisdom, giving us a glimpse of what really happens behind the scenes in the brain when we close our eyes to the outer world and open to the inner. This is where magic meets mechanics. What happens is that, during the delicate transition between wakefulness beta state and deep sleep, delta state, we enter a magical almost liminal state known as the hypnagogic window. In this twilight of consciousness, brain activity changes dramatically. The prefrontal cortex, the logical, analytical, and often skeptical CEO of your brain, the one that spends the day saying that's impossible, be realistic, or how is that going to happen, begins to quiet down. Its critical voice, the gatekeeper of your current reality, becomes drowsy and abandons its post. The amygdala, the center of fear, stress and fight or flight response, also reduces its activity, lowering the volume of the panic alarm that sounded all day about bills and deadlines. Simultaneously, your brain begins producing an abundance of theta brainwaves, the same slow rhythmic waves associated with monks' deep meditation, artists' creative flow, accelerated learning, and super-learning states where children absorb information effortlessly. In this theta state, the barrier between conscious and subconscious mind becomes incredibly thin, almost non-existent. The subconscious, which according to neuroscientists like Dr. Bruce Lipton governs 95% of our lives, our deepest beliefs, ingrained habits, automatic reactions and perception of reality, becomes as malleable as hot wax under a flame. This is where neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize, form new neural connections, and literally rewrite its own code, reaches its absolute peak. Each thought, each feeling, each image you introduce in this precise moment is not just a passing thought, it's a direct instruction, a software command being recorded into your reality's operating system. Shinn simply called this impressing the law of supply. Maya's only task, and yours now, was to ensure that the last feeling pressed into that wax, the last impression left in the fertile soil, wasn't panic, but prosperity, not lack, but unwavering faith. The debt abyss. To understand the depth of Maya's transformation, you first need to understand the depth of her despair. Her nights didn't begin with peace, but with a dark ritual of financial self-flagellation. She stacked unpaid bills like unstable Jenga blocks on her small work table, each envelope with a transparent window a monument to her struggle. She opened her banking app and saw the crimson-red numbers glowing in the darkness, a digital accusation of her perceived failure. The business she loved, creating crystal bracelets with intention and beauty, each one a small work of art, had transformed into a noose, tightening around her neck each day the rent approached. The exhaustion wasn't just physical, from her aching fingers and curved back after hours of meticulous work, it was soul exhaustion, a deep tiredness that came from fighting a losing battle in her own mind, night after night. Her mind was a battlefield where hope was always in retreat. The universe's whisper. On a particularly dark Thursday, after spending 14 hours tying tiny knots and securing crystals, only to discover that an unexpectedly cancelled sale left her even further from covering expenses, Maya stepped out for air, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. The night air was cold, and the city seemed indifferent to her silent pain. It was then she found one of those little free libraries, a wooden box on a post, looking like a shrine to forgotten stories. Inside, squeezed between paperback novels, was a worn dog-eared copy of Shinn's The Game of Life and How to Play It. A single sentence was underlined in faded pencil, "Your word is your wand." At first she laughed, a hollow bitter sound that was lost in the cold night. A magic wand. That's what I need, she thought sarcastically. Then came the tears, a torrent of frustration and helplessness. That night, while brushing her teeth, staring at a reflection she barely recognized, she whispered the phrase to her tired face, almost like an ironic lullaby. That whisper, born of skepticism and desperation, was the first domino to fall in a long chain of miracles. The first night's faith and friction. Maya decided to try. What did she have to lose? After all, she dove into the book and formulated a rudimentary plan based on Shinn's principles. The first nights were strange, a true internal battle. Her mind, accustomed to running on a treadmill of worries, resisted fiercely. When she tried to feel gratitude, her mind mocked. Gratitude for what? For the overdue electric bill or the fact that you ate instant noodles for dinner again? When she declared her wealth affirmation, her brain countered with the harsh reality of her negative bank balance. Her dreams were a bizarre collage of flying ATM receipts, credit cards chasing her, and coins turning to dust in her hands. It was like trying to plant a garden in a hurricane. She almost gave up on the third night, convinced she was a fool for trying to apply magical thinking to real and overwhelming problems, feeling ridiculous and naive. The cascade of proofs. But on the fourth night, something small, almost imperceptible, changed. The wholesale client, who had ignored her for months, sent a text out of nowhere at 10 p.m. "Can you handle an urgent order of 500 bracelets for an event?" Maya was shocked. Her heart raced. It wasn't enough to solve everything, but it was a beginning. It was a sign, an echo from the universe saying, "I'm listening." She persisted, her faith now fueled by a small spark of hope. On the 11th night, she discovered $37 extra in forgotten affiliate payments from an old blog she hadn't updated in years. On the 28th night, the landlord sent an email. "This month's late fee has been waived. Consider it an apology for last week's plumbing fiasco." These were small miracles, small proofs the universe sent her like breadcrumbs in a dark forest, feeding her growing faith and weakening the voice of skepticism. Each small proof was a vote of confidence from the universe. The liberation. The real turning point came on night 36. Propelled by this new wave of synchronicities, she finally felt courage to publish the digital jewelry-making course she'd been filming during stolen lunch breaks and lonely weekends. She launched it without expectations, simply as an act of faith. On the 41st night, when checking her sales before sleep as part of her new ritual, she saw the numbers. The course had gone viral in a small but dedicated online community. The money that came in that single week not only paid off her $23,000 in debt, it began building her savings for the first time in her adult life. That night, for the first time in 2 years, Maya slept deeply until sunrise, a dreamless sleep without debts or worries. The debt was erased. Soul exhaustion was replaced by vibrant, creative energy. Maya wasn't magical, she was the template. She proved that the subconscious doesn't respond to our current reality, but to the instructions we give it with persistent faith and dominant feeling. Here's the exact 3-step protocol Maya followed, the same one I now place in your hands. Treat it not as a chore, but as a sacred ritual, your daily intimate conversation with the universe's infinite intelligence. Consistency is key. Step 1. The gratitude sweep. The password to abundance. Lights off, phone on airplane mode, and out of reach. One hand on heart, another on belly, feeling your own presence and the warmth of your life. Before asking for anything, you must first acknowledge what you already have. Gratitude is the vibrational password that opens abundance's vaults. It's the frequency that tunes you to reception. Neuroscience confirms this, showing that gratitude practice releases dopamine and serotonin, altering your brain chemistry toward optimism, creativity, and receptivity. Maya would name 3 things, however small, that had appeared that day: a surprise $5 sale, a compliment from a stranger about her energy, the taste of the last piece of chocolate cake, the sun's warmth on her face during a 5-minute walk. She didn't just list, she relived the feeling of each one, letting gratitude's emotion fill every cell of her body like warm elixir. She treated it like muscle memory, same order, same calm voice, 90 seconds maximum. Gratitude tells the universe, "Thank you, I see the good that's already here, please more of this." It's the acknowledgement that precedes reception. Step 2. The wealth declaration. Your word is your wand. After preparing fertile soil with gratitude, it's time to plant the seed of your new reality. Choose one line, simple, short, and sticky, that resonates with you on a deep emotional level. Maya's was, "I am open and receptive to unexpected income. Large sums of money come to me quickly and in increasing amounts, for everyone's good." She spoke once, slowly, out loud but softly, like a lullaby to her future self. The secret here is emotion. It's not the word itself, but the feeling behind it that the subconscious understands and accepts as truth. The subconscious speaks the language of feeling. If her brain tried to argue, "Yeah, right, your checking account says $3, she had a ready response, straight from Shinn: "I cast this burden upon the superconscious mind within me, which knows only abundance, and I go to sleep in peace." Then, she exhaled the argument, literally blowing doubt out of her body and energy field, imagining doubt dissolving into the air. Step 3. The sleep bridge, sowing future reality. This is the final and most delicate step, the transition into the subconscious realm. Instead of straining to visualize in a forced and detailed way, which can create resistance and performance anxiety, Maya created a sleep bridge. She imagined a short scene, a 1-second snapshot that implied her desire had already been fulfilled. For her, it was the sound of a sale notification on her phone. She didn't just hear it, she felt the phone's vibration on the nightstand. She heard the ping, imagined opening her banking app and seeing the digits she desired. It wasn't a long movie, but a flash, a sensory photograph of a future moment. Ping, balance jumps, a relieved smile on her face, the feeling of relief flooding her chest, and then she let it go. No watching, no forcing, no desperately clinging to the outcome. She let the image sink like a seed into the dark, fertile soil of sleep, trusting that the subconscious, the master gardener, would know exactly what to do with it while she rested. We're halfway through, and if you've made it this far, it's not by chance. Maya's story and the science behind it are resonating with something deep within you, with knowledge your soul already possesses. This protocol isn't just a set of steps, it's a key to unlock a power you already possess. If you're feeling a spark of hope, a genuine desire to try this for yourself, pause and subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. We publish new tools like this every week, transforming ancient wisdom into modern autopilot for your life. Don't miss the next step, where we'll personalize this ritual for you, making it a tool perfectly tuned to your life and dreams. Maya's story is not an isolated case of magic, it's a replicable model, and the beauty of this model is its universal scalability. The subconscious is deeply radically democratic. It doesn't care about your title, your current bank balance, your educational background, or your past mistakes. It doesn't judge your present circumstances. It cares about one thing: the dominant feeling you carry with you across the bridge to sleep. If you're the nurse finishing a double shift, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, your ritual might focus on energy and financial restoration, with an affirmation like, "I am generously compensated for my service, and my well-being is the universe's priority." If you're the programmer with stock options that refuse to appreciate, your focus might be on unexpected opportunities and recognition of your value. Perhaps with "My unique genius attracts surprising and lucrative opportunities from unexpected sources." If you're the single parent making ends meet, your affirmation might be about support, ease and flow. "The universe supports me in all ways, and help comes from expected and unexpected sources." The artist struggling to sell their work might affirm, "My creations easily find perfect homes, and I am abundantly paid for my passion." Create your own sacred sleep ritual tonight. 1. Choose an affirmation that feels like a stretch, but not a lie. "I am a millionaire" might sound false if you're in debt, but "I am easily and effortlessly attracting all the help and money I need" might sound true and accessible. Write it on a post-it and stick it on the ceiling above your bed or bathroom mirror so it's literally the last thing you see. 2. Create a small ritualistic trigger, lightly touching your collarbones, the scent of lavender essential oil on your wrists, a soft hum for a few seconds. This acts as an anchor and trains your nervous system to recognize it's safe to shift from problem-solving mode to receiving mode. 3. If you share the bed, whisper the affirmation to yourself instead of saying it aloud. The subtle vibration still reaches the vagus nerve, signaling safety and calm to the body, and the intention broadcast to the subconscious is equally powerful. The power isn't in volume, but in conviction. 4. If insomnia appears, don't fight it. Resisting insomnia only strengthens it. Use Shinn's trick. "Tonight I refuse to worry. I cast this burden upon the God within, and sleep in faith and peace." Say it once. Say it again. Let the mental discussion go. Sleep is the natural product of relaxation, not the price to be paid for worry. Asterisk, the 4 manifestation traps and how to avoid them. Implementing this ritual is simple, but the human mind, with its ingrained habits of doubt and fear, is complex. There are common traps that can sabotage your efforts. Here are the most common ones, and how to navigate around them with wisdom. Trap 1. The vending machine mentality, treating the ritual like a vending machine where you insert an affirmation and expect prosperity to drop instantly. Complaining every 10 minutes or checking your bank account every hour is like shaking the machine. You'll only jam the process. This sends a signal of lack and impatience. Faith is the absence of effort and need for control. Plant the seed, water it with your faith and confidence, and let the earth, your subconscious, do its work. Trust divine timing. The Trap 2. Affirmation inflation. Thinking more is better. Reciting 10 lines of "I am rich, I am worthy, I am prosperous" dilutes the signal and confuses the subconscious. The brain, especially in the drowsy theta state, can't juggle multiple instructions. It's like giving 10 different commands to a computer simultaneously. Maya kept her affirmation to few syllables for a reason. Choose one powerful affirmation and stick with it for at least 21 nights. Clarity and focused repetition are your allies. Asterisk. Trap 3. Daytime sabotage. You can't plant a prosperity seed at night and pour the poison of doubt, fear, and complaint over it during the day. If you spend the afternoon complaining about money, gossiping about lack, or obsessively scrolling through stock market crash news, you're neutralizing your nightly work. It's like digging up the seed every morning to see if it's growing. Shinn's solution was the mental diet. Try the 2-hour rule. No complaints or conversations about money, lack 2 hours before sleep. Protect your mental space like a sanctuary. Asterisk. Trap 4. The emotional void. Saying the words without feeling the corresponding emotion is like trying to start a car without gas. Words are the vehicle, but emotion is the fuel. If you say, "I'm open to unexpected income" while feeling desperate, the vibration of desperation is what the subconscious registers. It responds to your state of being, not your words. If you have trouble feeling the emotion, return to step 1, gratitude. Gratitude is the fastest shortcut to an elevated receptive emotional state. Feel grateful for the air you breathe, for the bed you're lying on. Start there. Here's the challenge. Not just a challenge, but an invitation to a new reality, a conscious partnership with the universe. Try this protocol for 21 consecutive days, the time neuroscience suggests it takes for the basal ganglia to form a new neural habit loop. Commit to your own transformation. Post your chosen affirmation in the comments below. Keep it concise, under a tweet, and let this community's collective energy act as rocket fuel for your intentions. Each like is a silent cheer for your subconscious. I'll be reading them before recording the next session. Maybe your success story will become the case study we celebrate. And if this is your first time here and you felt the calling, felt this truth resonate in your heart, consider subscribing. Tonight, when you turn off the light, remember that the last 3 minutes before sleep are the most valuable real estate in your mind. Plant something worthy there. Don't take the day's problems to bed with you, they don't belong in your sanctuary. Let tension melt through your neck, through the mattress, to the floor. Whisper your new truth once, twice, and then let sleep's river carry it directly to the part of you that never blinks, the master architect of your life. The wealth you've been chasing isn't out there. It's already looking for a way in. Your only job is to leave the door unlocked. I'll see you on the other side of the dream.